sir.
Putala, very good afternoon to you all. Very good afternoon to you all. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Can you hear me well? I know it.
Oh, sir.
I know. I know that book and I know the Nantikin. But I know what you
Hello, sir.
I know. Can you hear very well? I know the one that right.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, very good. If you cannot hear, just send me a text, a chat message, or you can speak. Yeah. So welcome you to this sustainable consumption and production session. Okay. Today happened to be the first of this session, this module. Yeah. So we can see 35 students, including myself. Of course, I'm also consider when I teach you, it's a reminder to me as well. So I'm also a student. No. I believe there should be more than 35 students, but let's see how the participation, because participation is very important for this. Okay, participation is very important. So, yes, anyway, I will start from here. Sustainable consumption, okay? Sustainable consumption and production, okay? So this happens to be the name of the module, okay? This happens to be the name of the module. So what you are expecting out of this, okay? What you are expecting out of this, your purpose of attending this. Purpose of attending this. You have a purpose for this. Is there any use of attending this? Okay. Is there any use of attending this? Is there a new knowledge? Okay. You can gain. Gain for what? Gain for the good use for you and the society. Society. For what? For you and the society. For good use, for well-being. Okay. Well-being of you and the society. So this is very important. Whenever you are learning something, there should be a purpose. Okay. Of course, you have a purpose, the very basic purpose. There is a module for semester 6. You are supposed to follow the semester 6. And since this is the module and you are asked to follow this module, so you are participating in this. Okay, that is okay from your side, but we have to ask ourselves, yeah, do you have any big purpose? Can we make any purpose bigger than what we are attending just as a module of our semester 6 syllabuses? Okay, that's right. So what's the use? New knowledge. eh? Is it for a good use? Can this be beneficial for you and the society? Can there be immediate application or use? Okay, after learning, okay, after learning, is there any immediate benefits even for you or someone else? Still okay. So that's why, so you are spending time for this module. So when you are spending time for this module, you have to make sure that your time spending is worthwhile. Okay, time spending is worthwhile, is worthwhile. Okay, is worthwhile, is worthy enough. Okay, worthy enough, because time has a value. Okay, so time spending is worthy enough or worth enough to spend. Okay, or value, there is a value for your time spending here in the class, so you have to assure this. Okay, Putana, that's why. So, and the other thing is, yeah, we have 43 students now. You are in the semester 6. Somehow you got a double promotion. Now you skip semester 5 and you are just behind few months away from your senior batch. Yeah, fine. So you have to make sure that after doing this, you will be sitting for the exams. And later, no matter you do your industrial exposure or not, you are ready to go for what? New ventures, doing jobs, doing job business, doing an enterprise, or maybe something more creative works, depends on your interest, or even you may look for some further studies or whatever. Okay, so this knowledge, will there be a value for your future works? Will this bring your maturity? Yeah. So these are very important to ask from you. Okay, so please inquire yourself. Okay, inquire yourself. Okay, that is very important. Inquire yourself. Okay, inquire yourself, or self-inquiry. Okay, self-inquiry. Self-inquiry is very important. Okay, and also remember and keep in mind that you are learning as the subjects. Those are really worthy subjects. Those are really useful subjects. Okay, so you have to understand that you are learning, because otherwise we can have different subjects. So whatever the subjects are learning in this semester are pretty much useful for you. So you have to make sure that you should give value for this learning, value for the time spending for this learning. That is very important. Okay, that is very important. Yeah, and I'm from your faculty. Okay, mechatronics and manufacturing, coming under engineering technology faculty. So I'm not new to you. You also not new to me. And we all are from technology stream. But let's see how this subject has a linkage with technology and the other aspects, non-technical aspects. Okay, okay, we will see. Yeah, when the subject is being unfolded, you can see how worthy learning even something not being technical. Okay, technology is important, true, but only technical is not enough. So I believe this subject will bring you a certain maturity. Okay, so this will groom you up to become a responsible citizen. Okay, and this subject is one of the latest subjects now included in many curriculums, not only in Sri Lanka but also in overseas. Okay, this is a new subject. Okay, and your seniors are just going to sit for sustainable consumption and production pay. So you are going to be the second batch. So no sample papers, no previous exam questions. Yet you need to get exposed to a very good uh, content of knowledge for you to use, and of course that knowledge should be useful and workable. Okay, useful and workable. Okay, and let me go for a new slide. It's saved. So now I am considering production. Okay, production. Yeah, technology. There is a linkage of technology for this. For this sustainable production, because sustainable consumption and production means sustainable consumption and sustainable production. Two things. Okay, we are inquiring this topic. So when it comes to sustainable production, okay, there is a technical linkage and you are from technology stream. So whenever you are involved in industries, so production can be industries as well, or even trade, don't worry. Later we will look into those. So both mechatronics and manufacturing, they must have very good interest on this as well. Okay, sustainable industries, the sustainability of industry, sustainability of trade, sustainability of organization, sustainability of operations, okay, including production. So this has certain technical linkage, okay. And also there can be operational linkages, operational. These words are a little bit new to you, maybe new to, of course, definitely new to you. Operational. operation. So operational linkage. Let me explain now what operational means afterward. Yeah. Okay. Operational linkages. And there can be strategies. Strategic. Okay. Because this is sustainable. And there can be many aspects. Okay, and we will learn about this in general. Don't worry. How about consumption? How about consumption? Yeah. Production, yes. So you have the linkages, production linkage, operational. Let's say example, even though we call surgeries, doing surgeries we call operations. In the hospital, yeah, doctors do operations on patients. Yeah, in the operations, in the surgical, the surgery, the operation, this operating theater, okay, theater. There are doctors, there are nurses, and there can be anesthetists, there can be surgeons, okay. There is a team, there is a team, and they have a task to perform as a team. They know what to do. Yeah, individual doctors, nurses, and the other assistants maybe, or the other medical experts. So they have their own roles to play, not alone. Okay, in synchronized with the others. So all are synchronized very well. So doctor, if needs a cutting tool, the nurse should know when this to provide. He should not ask, the nurse should know what tool he needs after that, and so on. So the patient is under operation and the doctors are conducting the operation. So surgeries are operations. There is a time frame. There are dedicated people. They know what to do. They have well coordination. So it's an operational task. They have tools, they have equipments, they have other gadgets and all. Yeah, so the resources are there. Okay, facilities there. So people, they do the operations. Yeah. Even in manufacturing. Yeah. Even, let's say example, even a simple petrol shed. There is some operational aspects. The pumps are there, the pump handlers or the operators are there. You are also part of that. You bring the vehicle, you open up maybe the lid or the cap to fill the petrol, and someone do this. You do the payments, and there is a queue. Some are going to bypass the queue and all. You can see some little operational aspects. Okay, so operations are, it it is related to everything. So right operations extremely important. Okay, even in an aircraft, when you are flying, the pilots, okay, the flight attendants, the flight engineers, all they are in an operation. They are in an operational mode. Yeah, okay, so that's how the operations are. So I think you can think about the operational aspects. It is very important, and the operations need strategies as well. So later we will talk about this, Putala. So consumption. So what you need to do with consumption? Yeah, what you need to do with consumption? So that is the point, consumption. So consumption, you are a consumer. Okay, consume. Okay, consume food. Okay, and even you are purchasing electronic gadgets and all, maybe vehicles, bicycles. Yeah, so you are buying lot of things, you are using lot of things, you are consuming lot of things, and the businesses are there because of this consumerism. We call consumerism. Okay, so paribhojane, yeah. So here you can see, consumer nowadays. Yeah. So I hope this may not be you. Okay, I hope this may not be you. Okay, so this is now the trend. So by right, he must have some technical gadgets also with him. So this is what happens today. Okay, so people have this trend of consuming. So even, yeah, this is quite, how to say, complicated. This is quite complicated situation because consumption, it is not only food. Okay, not only food, and drinks. Okay, not only food and drinks. There are a lot of consumables. There are many other consumables. Okay. Example, if you go to supermarket, each and every item, those are, they are for sale. All are consumables. It is not about food and drinks. So many things. From luxury vehicles to ordinary vehicles, from the advanced expensive gadgets to low-end gadgets, yeah, electronics, maybe digital, or maybe nanotechnologies. You can see even the clothes, different fashions, different clothings, different technologies. They are there for sale. Sale means they need you to buy those. Yeah. So anyway, this is consumption. So why consumption is a problem? Is consumption a problem? Is consumption a problem? But I try to get something out of this. This is, you fail because your mindset is learning technology. So when I talk about this kind of simple things, you feel this is nothing. Okay, you feel nothing. But remember, non-technical things are also extremely important. Yeah. Example, let me say. Okay. So this is non-technical, but these are important. Non-technical things. Do you know non-technical people? People in organizations. Non-technical people in organizations. Wrong spelling. Yes. Examples. CEOs, Chief Executive Officers. Are they technical mostly? No. They are non-technical, but they have technicalities, but not relating to engineering technology. Okay, they have some technicalities. They may be technocrats. So you are learning technology, but learning non-technology thing doesn't mean you are learning something easy, but you are learning something with very important aspects. So being a CEO is a non-technical position, non-technology. Even president is a technologist. No, he's a technocrat. Yeah, prime minister. Is he a technologist? No. Ministers, of course, some ministers only know how to loot the people's money, but anyway, mostly you can say they are not that hands-on in technologies. Okay, but they are in high positions. Bankers. Okay, non-technical. Okay, non-technical. They have different. Okay, So I make this guy smaller. Bankers, okay? And the entrepreneurs mostly could be non-technical, the business people and all, okay? Non-technical. So is consumption a problem? Yes. So we should think in different ways. Don't think like you are thinking about engineering technology. You should think differently. Okay. Even medical fields, of course, there are aspects, but here mostly you can see these are different streams, different thinking approaches. Okay. Different streams, different thinking approaches, but equally important. So consumption, now we are talking about this. Production, sustainability we are talking, but don't think these are nothing. These are extremely important. Okay. So later we will discuss. So how this kind of non-technological things are important for you. Okay. Let's see how this kind of non-technological things are important for you. Okay. So consumption. Yeah. If the consumption is sustainable, okay, sustainable, it is not a problem. So is consumption a problem? Yes, unless it is sustainable. Yes, consumption is a problem unless it is sustainable. Is production a problem? Yes, unless it is sustainable. Okay, now you can fail. If you know production, but if you do not know about sustainable production, your production is negative for the society. Or else, you could have done a better, okay, contribution to the society if you know sustainable production. Okay, sustainable production. So how about the sustainable consumption? Okay, sustainable production. In Sri Lanka, let's say if we have 22 million people, okay, so consumption problem is a 22 million problem. Don't think simple. It's a 22 million problem. Okay. Consumption. Production. Again the same. It's a 22 million problem. Don't you think? It's a 22 million problem. Okay, quite simple. Okay, a poor person, even I'm poor, eh? Yeah, poor person. Let's say no aircon at home. Rich person, they have air cons running at home. Running at home. Okay. So this rich person's air con, okay, even in a small scale, this may lead to global warming and climate changes. Okay, which affects everyone, including the rich and poor. Okay, so it's a problem of everybody. Can you understand? That's right. So you need to have this non-technological but important knowledge. So who produce air conditioners? Probably you are producing this, you are installing this. Okay, so you are responsible. So if you have no idea of serving your customers in sustainable way, you are not doing a right job. You are not doing the right job. Putal, understand? That's right. So if you are not thinking such, your job is incompletely done. Okay? You think you have done it perfect, but this is your job is imperfectly, not perfectly, imperfectly done. Okay? So this is a very good example for the technology students, both manufacturing and mechatronics, that doing a job done. If you have no sense of sustainability, you feel that you have done the job well, but in overall, your job was not done well. Now in Sri Lanka mostly, okay, our engineers and technologists in Sri Lanka, mostly our engineers and technologists, two different streams. Don't think you are below engineers, no such thing. Don't think you are above engineer, no such thing. Engineers and technologies are moving parallel. They have separate career paths, okay? And the technologies are mostly innovative. So you should be a better breed. Eh? In Sri Lanka, our engineers and technologists may not be doing a perfect job. unless they have a good sense of what? Sustainability. So I just put sustainability instead of sustainable consumption and production. You'll understand? So that's why you are learning this as a subject, and you are learning not just to pass the exam or not because you are asked to follow this, but you are learning this with a greater purpose to perform your jobs well when you go to practice your professions. Okay? And the other thing is, when they have no sense of sustainability, they are not innovative enough. Problems. Okay? They may ignore some areas that are very important for the sustenance or the better maintaining of the society. Okay, you may be forgetful on those things. Forgetful means irresponsible. So be responsible technologists and engineers and innovators and entrepreneurs. This knowledge of sustainable consumption and production is very important. Okay, is very important. I hope you can understand this. Okay, and one more thing, really, the knowledge of this. So later I will go for the case studies. Knowledge of SCP, sustainable consumption and production. Understanding helps you to have a noble lifestyles. Because some people think life is making money or life is gathering wealth. Okay? But life is more than that. It doesn't say you should not make money. You should make money. You should gather wealth. For what? For the betterment of you, your family and loved ones, and society and environment. Okay, yesterday we talked about environment a bit. Society and environment. Very important. Okay. Don't think you are a very noble one. So you should not earn money. Noble lifestyles. Yeah. With noble lifestyles, if possible, if you can be immediate millionaires and billionaires, it really helps the society. Yeah. But you need the prior knowledge of sustainable lives. Okay. You will understand the good lifestyles. Yeah. So you will have some, how to say, good view of your life, okay? Good appraisal of your life. You can do everything, but should be reasonable. Okay, you should be reasonable. Okay, this is extremely important. Okay, there are rich people, but their life is not so noble. Okay, not so noble, not so noble, and unreasonable. There are lifestyles. Okay, okay. So, how do you know that? Yeah, you can look into the outcomes. Outcomes tells it. Tell it. Outcome tell it. If you are a farmer, if you are using excessive chemicals for farming, and you know that this is harmful to people. Yeah. So this is enough to say that that is not so noble, even though farmers, they don't have, unlike previous times, farmers, not all farmers are rich, fine, but yeah, it is not about being rich or poor. Yeah, no much difference. Okay, no much difference of being rich or poor, but the practices, farm. Rice miller, taking maybe paddy farmer. So I put paddy here, or rice farming. Okay, Vivanga, rice mill. Okay, so they are too strategic. To earn profits and paid farmers a low price and charge the consumers a high price. Do you think it is good? That is also not good. So rice millers can be very rich, but they are unreasonable. Okay? They are unreasonable. And don't think they are happy people, not possible. Their lives may not be so good, cannot be so good. Rich doesn't mean life is happy. Poor doesn't mean life is unhappy. Okay, rich and poor, if the attitudes are noble, they are happy. Okay, they can manage somehow with some contented life, no matter rich or poor. So these are examples. Now, this both the persons, they have no idea about sustainability. Okay? Both have no idea about sustainability. And one day, this farmer using excessive chemicals. You know, in Sri Lanka is the world #1 in using excessive chemicals. Weedicide, pesticide, valnashaka, kruminashaka. Okay, chemicals. No organics. Organics, even organics, those are not truly organic. Okay, so that is not very good. Even rice millers, even government last time tried very hard on pressing the rice millers to give farmers high price and to give consumers low price. But even the government failed on that. Yeah. So this is some examples. Doctors. Doctors. Yeah. So there are a lot of unethical practices ongoing. Okay. Lot of unethical practices are ongoing. Okay. So I think you know this. Sometimes even you cannot afford the medical bills. Maybe, yes, there are unethical practices sometimes. The medications are quite high. Diagnosis expensive. They are doing a business. Okay, they are doing a business. Not so noble, also unreasonable. Why? Why they are doing so? The question, why they are doing so? Doing so. Why they are doing so? Can you think? Why they are doing so? Very simple. They have lost some life-worthy knowledge. They have lost some life-worthy knowledge. Okay, so they are doing those. And finally, whoever, if they are unreasonable to the society and to the environment, so they will get the returns. That is natural. So there are some life-worthy knowledge, but they have lost that knowledge. So you should learn this life-worthy knowledge. This is knowledge untold. Untold. But you have to learn. Okay, untold. So remember, starting today, in your dream of life, you can have all the luxuries in your dreams of life. You can have in your dreams billions of dollars and rupees in your bank accounts. Fine, and we wish you all to come true all the dreams while having a noble and reasonable lifestyles. Okay, so noble and reasonable lifestyles. Okay, so that is the point. Noble and reasonable lifestyles. Knowledge of sustainable consumption, okay, knowledge of sustainable consumption and production is important. So I'm repeating the same slide I have constructed. Okay, knowledge of sustainable consumption and production. This is very important. And your young adults embarking on the ventures in the societies. So if you lost this knowledge, you will be another bunch of monsters harming the society. Understand? Yeah. So that is the other point. Okay. So they are monsters, you know. This farmer who is giving poisons, they are innocents but monsters. Rice millers, they are of course monsters. Some doctors, they are monsters. Even engineers, they are monsters. Ministers, they are monsters. So they are monstrous. Monstrous. What is monstrous? Monstrous. Horrific, evil, unfair, shocking. Monstrous people. Okay, so that's why if you have no knowledge of such and if you follow these people, so you will be monstrous again. So our society will not have these noble people. Okay, so we don't want you to be monstrous. Okay, so you should have these values to make sure you should not be monstrous. Okay, monstrous. So don't be monstrous. Okay, don't be monstrous. So that is very important. Okay, being not monstrous, being very qualitative. Okay, very qualitative people. Okay, very qualitative, knowledgeable, with positive attitude, with great courage to do the things in a better way for the societies, as paying back your free education. Yeah, somehow people paid, your parents, yeah, they really sacrifice a lot of their energy and all for you. So you have to pay back that. So you have to be grateful to them. So you have to grow good cultures, and you have to blend these good cultures with your technological knowledge, and you should be good. Okay, so even we do not like to write this message in this way. Okay, instead of telling don't be monstrous, we should tell that be noble. Okay, be noble. Be noble. So that's the point. So that's why, so even this new subject, so we have useful and workable knowledge, new knowledge, even knowledge untold, maybe misknowledge. You are learning everything. Of course, you are learning technologies as well. So maybe you are going for some modern learning. Eh? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So this is the first day, that's why I'm explaining this. Okay, so I believe you should join the class with no missing of the sessions. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, Vidala. So we are going to explore this. This happened to be a subject because consumption becomes unsustainable, production becomes unsustainable, society is getting stressed. So of course you are not responsible for this, but the previous generations, including my generation, is responsible for this. Okay, so now we all have to get corrected. Yeah, attitudes, right knowledge blended with this technological knowledge what you have learned makes you complete. Okay, that's why we are trying with this. Even though we are sharing this, sometimes we are also not truly up to the words because we were in this corrupted societies. සමහර වෙලාවට හාමුදුරුවරු හිමත් හොඳට බණ කියන මිනිස්සුත් හැදෙන්න උනාට හාමුදුරුවරු වැරදි කරන්නේ. You know that sometimes there are like that. Many cases. Even parents ask you to be good, but sometimes from them also some little wrong things can happen. The same way, myself as a lecturer, so I'm telling you to be good, but this doesn't mean that I'm good. Okay, because but we should improve. That is the point. We should improve together. Okay, goodness has no limit. Nobleness has no limit. Okay, be noble. It's a power, you know, it's a fully packed power is there with being noble. Noble කියන්නේ දෙකට නැමිලා ඉන්න මිනිස්සු කියලා හිතන්න එපා අනේ පණේ ගාගෙන ඉන්නේ. So they are different. Yeah. So try to be that fully packed, okay, powered noble people. They are blessed by the nature and the societies. So that's it. Yeah, so that is very important, and this is happened to be the background preparation. We have many issues because the world trend is really in the wrong path. Sustainability is not everywhere, and of course in everywhere we can see unsustainable things. That's why. So consumption is not sustainable, you can say. Production is not sustainable. Okay. Businesses are not sustainable. We have issues. Yeah. So we should know these issues upfront. Understand? Yeah. So even though I'm also a technical guy, so we happen to think about this. We happen to think about this. Okay. So we have to talk something technical as well today. Puta, do you have any questions before moving forward? Are you okay? You believe these are in the exam papers also, what I mentioned. This will be in the exam papers also. You believe, right? So I know that there are very gifted students among you. I believe you all. I wish you all. And they have this good sense of knowledge already within them. They may be silent. They may be silent, but they have these opinions and all. Okay? They have these opinions and all. I'm going to keep මොකුත් මතක නෑනේ. I believe you forget everything what I mentioned right now. ඔක්කොම මතක වෙලානේ තියෙන්නේ. That is nature. හොඳ දේවල් එහෙම ලීසියකින් මතක හිටින්නෙත් නෑ ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරන්නද. Okay? I'm 100% sure. Whatever I shared with you, you already forgot. Okay? I know that, but I'm very sure. Okay? You already forgot. You all looks very silent. Okay? How to be noble? Consider arrogant if you are Buddhist. It's a consider arrogant. Silredda Puragan. When they call Hijutariya, is that the being noble? No such thing. Yeah. You inquire what noble means. You should inquire that. What noble means. Okay, Buddha. Yeah. So, to become noble, okay? So these are some suggestions on it. We all have to have a sense of belonging to a common humanity. Yeah. So we all are humans. We should not have any class differences. Okay? Generosity and gratitude. I put in both languages. 3 languages here. Generosity and gratitude. That's another. Have a sense of belonging to common humanity. That is very important. Generosity and gratitude. You should practice this. Okay? Actually, we should practice this, not only you. Third one, sharing values and responsibilities. Yes, we have to practice this. Third one. providing opportunities for the others. Okay, that's why being noble means we have to be practical. We have to be practical. Okay, providing opportunities for the others. Understand? Yeah. Okay. Being an entrepreneur, very important, because in the society there are people striving for the meals. Okay, daily meal. Gangwala Nagaravana, Hamatan. Many sinners, especially these days, even among you and me, even maybe me, or even maybe you, among us, there are people striving for daily meals. Badapuraganda Mahasya. So, if you can be a good entrepreneur, you can offer jobs for people. Okay. If you give a job for one person in a family, okay, actually you are feeding, if there are 5 people in the family, in that family you are feeding 5. If you offer 4 jobs per person, in that person's house maybe 5 people in the family. So 4 jobs means you are feeding 20 people. Okay. If you can give 10 jobs, you are feeding 50 people. Indirectly, you are feeding more people. Okay, that's why. Being noble, you have to look for that. And being entrepreneur is one of the very important things that you should focus. Okay, entrepreneurs are great people. Okay, they are great because not they are just making money, but they are providing opportunities for the others. They can share values and responsibilities. They can be generous. They have the sense of belongings. They have the power. People understand that's why. So I'm always promoting you to do your own things. Maybe initially you may be working for a company for few years, but in your heart you should have something that one day, not later, okay, but soon as possible, you should start something. Even your salary you can spend for a business. Business means it's not about making money, but you are making money. Other than that, you can support the societies. You can understand that? That's right. So being an entrepreneur is very important, and with this sustainable consumption and production knowledge, being a noble student, not to say student, young adult, you can do wonders. Okay, so that is very important. So someone asking to display the top two slides. Okay. Fashion, food, outings, electronic goods, internet, entertainment, gadgets, data, phone cards, supplements, all we are buying. We are consumers. Of course, we need to buy, that is fine. But we should be socially responsible. Okay, later I will share with you how we can be practical, responsible consumers, responsible technologists involved in production and manufacturing and trades and businesses. Okay. So you should understand what consumption means. Production, you have to understand. Give me a second. Yes, this is the first, this is considered the second slide. Third slide. So we will be discussing about this, don't worry. We will be discussing this. Okay. So any questions, Putala? Any questions? So let me share a story of this technology. You know that, yeah, these are some of the aspects really in industries. I think there are this 32 MB DRAMs, dynamic random access memories. Generally, this 32 MB one is, the weight is around 2 grams. So these are microchips. This is a story. In producing this, yeah. So this is an indirect question. Microchip is 2 gram. Have you heard of 1.7 kilogram microchip? Have you heard of 1.7 kilogram microchip? Can microchip be 1.7 kilograms? Microchips, not possible. But the fact is that the energy and material used in production of this 2 gram microchip, 32 MB microchip, the energy and material use equivalent to 1.7 kg. Fossil fuel equivalent to 1,600 grams. Chemicals, 72 grams. Together 1.672 is almost 1.7. So you are using this much of energy and matter to produce this 2 grams. Also, there are other things, water and elemental gases, nitrogen. in the initial wafer fabrication, you should understand this process really. Here, they are using water 32,000 grams, 32 kilos, and nitrogen 0.7 kilos per chip. So this addition, okay. So one day, water will be the most precious resource, even still. Of course, you can compare any resource to water and pure air, because we are living on this water, air, and earth. And to make this 2-gram microchip, we are consuming 32 kilograms or 32 liters of water and 700 grams of nitrogen. Yeah, quite sizable. So these are from the production analysis, I got this. So we have to talk about this. Environmental impacts. Okay, environmental impacts. Okay, so we have to learn about this as well. So even in environmental management and cleaner production, we are considering this, but when it comes to sustainable production, we have a question of sustainability, because these microchips are used or fixed in your phones. In your phones, you can see these microchips. In your gadgets, you can see these microchips. Okay, that's all. So you have to be mindful, you have to think about this. And in many industries, you can see this kind of extensive energy and material usage. And you are producing very light, but of course, performing wonderful things, but your resource consumptions are huge, unbearable to the nature. Okay. And here the raw material is quartz or silicon wafer we are using to produce this 2-gram microchip. Energy consumption is 160 times when you are using this quartz. Yeah. So many things here. Anyway, let me send you this slide. So quartz, also valuable raw material. In our case, we are exporting good quality quartz. So they are they are using those quartz to produce the silicon wafer used in semiconductor industries. We have very pure quality quartz in Sri Lanka. So see, we process raw material and we are sending the same raw material, exporting for the high-tech industries in the other countries for them to produce things. So we are not doing that value additions. So we have a question that even our production, if we do not add values, so we export raw material, but we call it production. See our production, we are exporting as raw material with no value additions. Same way for consumption, we are importing the products, cars and electronics, all. Here locally, no value additions. Both are in the worst cases. Exports, no value additions. Imports, we are bringing in complete goods. So no possibility for value addition. So our imports in the bad mode, our exports are in the bad modes. So we are losing. Yeah. So that's why sustainable consumption point of view is import. Sustainable production point of view is export, maybe. We are exporting raw material, we are importing finished goods. So what happens? Do you think our import export, there is a huge gap, billions of dollars gap annually. Budget deficit, we call it. So it is very difficult to narrow this unless we add value to exports and unless we bring in, we can bring in raw material and the parts. At least we should do some value addition here before selling the goods. That's why. So even temporary stopping these vehicles and all luxury items, extra luxuries, that is good, because we have to have some value additions. We can drive big cars and all, but anyway, for the country's point of view, it is really not bearable, because we are somehow, how to say, financially we are facing hardships, we can say it. So day by day our export import gaps become increasing. So answers are there with only with the sustainable consumption and production. Answer is there. So we have to understand this. So phosphates we are exporting. Sometimes we sell raw material, just the phosphate, we have very good deposits. We are just selling to the companies the deposits. Graphites, mineral, we have very good high quality graphites, but now Germans are operating one graphite mine in Bogle. So that's one of the best quality graphites there. So they just mine and bring those things to Germany for as a raw material for manufacturing. But our side, even we are not making even a pencil. So that's a situation. That's why this knowledge is important. Yeah, Buddha. So this is the background. So from country to country, case to case, we have to think about this. So for our situation, so this consumerism, not only that one, the sustainable consumption and sustainable production is not in place, because it has to be a match or some suitability with the economies. So we have to have very good policy decisions uh, in this sectors of sustainable consumption and production. Sometimes we need to control consumption. That is one way of banning imports these days. Yeah. Sometimes maybe imposing tax, sustainable consumption. Sustainable production is very important, even exporting tea or whatever. The value added, the final product is important rather than sending bulk for blending tea, and they sell with different brands. That is not very good. So anyway, now you should understand that sustainable consumption and production knowledge is extremely important for the socio-economic prosperity. සෞභාග්‍යයකට රටක සෞභාග්‍යයකට මේවා හරි වැදගත්. Okay? Very important. So that is very important, Putana. So I can see all the 43, including myself, is here now. So this is a background preparation, and not just to say background preparation, but this is the fact. This is the reality. So we need the answers for the problems here we are facing socially, economically, and environmentally. We have the issues of prosperity. That's why we are talking about Saubhagimat Anagatiya kiyanne mokada. Because we are not that prosperous enough. So we are thinking at least in the future we are prosperous. To become prosperity, to have prosperity in the future, we should act right now. And there should be directions, there should be directives. People understand? And this is one of the very important area the government should be looked into. Yeah, that's why even the United Nations now they are pushing for this sustainability to assure in consumption and production. Otherwise, there is an imbalance. Otherwise, there is an imbalance, and imbalances are really, how to say, really sad stories. Yeah. So even in our country, let's say, you and your neighbor, you have no idea how the neighbors are doing, whether they had their lunch or the meals, at least daily meals, whether they have or not. You may have no idea. They also may have no idea. So we are a little bit socially isolated, even though we talk about social economy. So we have to think about a lot of approaches to assure this sharing of prosperity and to eradicate the poverty. And the technology play a major role in this. Okay, technology plays a major role in this. And now you can feel that when you are exposed to this sustainable consumption and production, that is SCP subject, this is pretty much important, same as your technology subjects. Understand, Buddha? So this is to apply, this is to use. This knowledge should be workable. If not workable, this knowledge, there is no point learning this. So we have to take initiatives when you go to industries. You have to assure the sustainable products are being coming out from your enterprises, industries. Okay, those are very important. Those are extremely important. So we have to talk about this. Afterward, yeah, even the principles and applications, that is knowledge for sustainable consumption and production. So we are focusing on this. Yeah. So I think we are learning one of the best, not to say one of the best subject. So the best subject, and let me continue this in the coming sessions. So I hope you all will be joining this and you will get some very useful and workable, very valuable knowledge for you to become more matured, professional, young adults. Okay, Bhutana? So that's all. So this is the first day of the session. So I think it's no time to start the new sessions, but this is a bit exposure for this subject. So let me continue in the coming sessions. Surprisingly, you will learn technologies, you will learn even about the control systems for this. We have developed some concepts as well. So we will share with you all. So take care all of you, and I'm going to stop the class now. Before stopping, any question, Putana? Any question? So after that, I will post this video for you to listen. So it is good to listen the videos, very important. I will upload this and I will send you the link for you to write. Okay, that's all, Butaladdin. So let me stop the class. Before that, any questions? Any questions? No. Okay. Okay, that's all then. So let me stop the class. So bye for all. Take care all of you then. Bye, Butala. Bye.